Hey, what's going on? Are you thinking about moving to the Sunshine State? Or particularly, are you thinking about moving to Jacksonville? So on this video, we're gonna talk about my top 10 things you need to know before moving to Jacksonville. All right, so let's get into today's video. So today's video is about me giving you 10 things you need to know prior to moving to Jacksonville. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Maurice Murphy, the bearded realtor, and I live in the city of Jacksonville, Florida. Realtor extraordinaire with a great beard, okay? That's why I get the name, the bearded realtor. Okay, so let's talk about these 10 things you need to know. But before we get into that, let's click that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you're feeling the content I'm about to put out on this channel, okay? So the first thing I will say, and probably the most important thing, is you're gonna need a car, all right? The public transportation system in Jacksonville is, by all means, it sucks, all right? A lot of areas of Jacksonville and the surrounding counties and surrounding areas, the bus system doesn't go. We don't have a subway system. The bus system is pretty much all that we have here in the city of Jacksonville. And it's, like I said before, it just doesn't go everywhere across the city, all right? In my area where I live, the bus don't even come by here, okay? So that's the first thing. Jacksonville is a very huge city. You're gonna need a car, all right? Next thing you need to know about Jacksonville. So Jacksonville is still moderately affordable compared to Miami, compared to Tampa and Orlando. So you can still get a decent home here in the city of Jacksonville compared to those other major cities in the state of Florida. So the affordability here is a little bit better than those other places. The next thing you need to know, family friendly and veteran friendly. So when I say family friendly, we have some great schools here in Jacksonville and surrounding counties to raise a family. And we also have veterans. A lot of veterans live in the city of Jacksonville. We also have 3 major bases, which are 30 minutes away from the entire city. We have Kings Bay, which is right there on the border in Georgia, in Kings Bay, Georgia. We have NAS Jacksonville, which is on the west side of Jacksonville. And then we have Naval Station Mayport, which is out by the beaches. So that's 3 major bases in the area that you can be stationed at, or you can have a job at. If you're a veteran or if you have some type of degree or whatever it is, there's a lot of employment here in the city that can be government related. So that's another great thing about being here. It's very veteran friendly and family friendly. Next thing is Florida, Georgia. So since Jacksonville is at the top of the map of Florida, it's very close to Georgia. You can easily hop over the line in 30 minutes. You can go over to Kings Bay, Brunswick. It's about 5 hours from Atlanta. So it's a very good place if you're on that cusp of want to live in Georgia and still working in Jacksonville. So it's a great thing about living in here. Also, I would say it's a little bit cheaper because there's not a lot going on in Kings Bay, Georgia. So you could easily live in Kings Bay and work in Jacksonville. So it's a great thing to have that proximity, okay? Major sports here. So let's talk about these major sports, all right? So we all know the Jaguars are here. Hopefully this year we can at least get 5 wins, but we'll see what happens. So Jacksonville is known for a lot of major sports here. So like I said before, you have the Jaguars, you have the minor league baseball team, the Jumbo Shrimp. You also have an arena football team, which is Sharks. You have the MLS soccer team, the Armada. And last, you have a minor league hockey team, which is the Icemen. So there are a lot of sports teams here in the Jacksonville area that you can check out, whether it be a major football team such as the Jaguars or the minor league team such as the baseball and the arena football, okay? Now the next thing I'm gonna talk to you about is the weather. Now I've talked about it on this channel before, but 200 days of sunshine, all right? That's the type of weather we have down here. We only have about 1 or 2 months, maybe 3, where it gets below 60 degrees, okay? Or even at least 65, I would say. So this is a great place to live when the weather is pretty good all year round. It doesn't get really cold until about January, and that lasts until about March. December is a little bit colder and cooler, but the actual colder, which is they call colder here, which is like below 60, is cold. For you northerners, that's probably like a jacket or a long sleeve shirt type weather. But here in Florida, people lose their minds when it goes below 60 degrees, okay? And don't let it go below 50. You'll see the craziest thing where people got triple fat goose coats on, gloves, scarves, hats. It's just ridiculous, but I digress. Okay, so any other time, the weather is great the majority of the time here in Jacksonville. One other great thing about living in the state of Florida, there's no state taxes. So we don't pay any state tax in the state. So when you work in the state of Florida, you only get federal taxes taken out. State taxes do not apply. So I've been living here for off and on for about 12 years. And I think that's probably one of the best things I love about living in Florida or being a resident of Florida. Never get taken any state taxes from my paycheck. So it's another great thing about the state of Florida. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Hurricane seasons. Yes, we do know there are hurricanes in the state of Florida. We're just the first thing that it comes to on the southern region of the U.S. The last hurricane that we had, major hurricane we had, was a few years back, which I think was Hurricane Matthew. But that was 6 years ago, I think, 5 or 6 years ago. So we rarely ever get any hurricanes, and usually they don't have a direct hit. They usually just turn and go out up the coast of the U.S. So hurricane season here is from June 1st to November 30th. It is what it is. It's one of the things about living in Florida, living on a coastal state, hurricane season. So the last and final thing is we're still home to the Players Championship, the major golf tournament here. We're also home to the Taxpayer Bowl, and we're also home, as for now, to the Florida-Georgia game. I know there's some talk about them moving it to a different location, but right now, the Florida-Georgia game is here in Jacksonville, okay? So those are the 10 things you need to know about moving to Jacksonville. Definitely gonna need to get that car. It's less expensive than any other major city, family-friendly and veteran-friendly. It's very close to Georgia. We're home to the Jags, the Icemen, the Jumbo Shrimp, the Sharks, the Armada. The weather here is always great. No state taxes, hurricane season, what it is, and the major sports events we have here in the city of Jacksonville. So those are the 10 things I wanted to give to you before you move to Jacksonville or if you move into the state of Florida. So if you have any further questions about moving down here, hit me up in the comment sections. And if you haven't already and you're watching my videos, subscribe to your boy's channel and give me a thumbs up, okay? All right? So that's all I have. I'm the Bearded Realtor, and I'll talk to you soon.